trivia?
No.
Maybe.
Oh.
Ask again later.
Yeah, can you
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I like how you shook a magic 8-ball for the Monopoly result.
Oh, God.
We all have help.
Goes down smooth.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to The Orig, a show by Damage Control Podcasting, a professionally unprofessional look at the conventions, ideas, and genres of filmmaking. I'm here with
Daniel Newkirk.
Tyler.
Cody Dietrich.
Okay,
And Adam Tipton.
Yes. This episode topic is all about monologuing, discussing our favorite, how to use them, how to, I wrote out interrogate, but I meant integrate them into a scene. Okay?
That's great.
How to interrogate them into a scene.
I am so ready for monologuing. I am so good at it. You could say I'm a master monologuer. A master logger, maybe, even.
Is that a joke over my head?
That doesn't work as well as the debater joke, I'm afraid.
No?
Like, it doesn't roll as smooth.
The problem with people who monologue is they tend to talk too much about their dastardly plans. And then just keeps going on and on. Like, I'd be talking to Cody and I would just keep rambling and rambling while Daniel would be doing something in the back. But thank God I never monologue.
Right, like rubbing out,
Okay.
doing something in the background.
Okay. So before...
Kid show. All
right.
Your kids are the only ones who will listen to us.
They don't even like the show.
Before we get to tonight's
Daddy,
topic...
it's boring.
Yeah.
These views,
That's my wife.
Oh, my mistake.
Before we
Please,
get to
God, don't listen to this.
Before we get to tonight's topic, trivia, okay? So,
Trivia.
according to industrialscripts.com...
Is this a listicle?
Oh, this is one of the listicles.
So we have two listicles?
Nice, smooth, round listicles.
3 listicles.
3.
Oh, so from like, what's that one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
That was 3 breasts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Three
it's like,
listicles would be Dr. Evil and Goldmember.
Did he have 3?
Yeah, because he gets hit in the nuts and he goes 1, 2, and 3.
Oh,
Good.
gotcha. Okay. All right.
Have you guys thought about how much trivia we have on this new season? Like,
I could
so
probably
much trivia.
have cured cancer if
No,
I
we
would
had-
fill my brain with useful information.
we had trivia on our original incarnation.
well, yeah, we had some trivia. Now we've got like a whole
What-
episode,
well,
like a
Adam
whole.
says he likes doing the trivia, so
what's
we're going
in
to
the-
let Adam do some trivia.
What's in the box, man?
Yeah, I remember the What's in the Box. That's a classic thing that you can find on YouTube and SoundCloud in our vault.
What's in
Or
the
you could
box?
listen to Dead Air, our trivia show that you can find new episodes up every Monday.
That
You know?
Cody makes sure it lives up to its name.
Absolutely, he
I
does.
found a YouTube show called Dead Last, which pisses me off.
Bastards.
Okay.
Stolen our idea.
So industrialscripts.com. Okay, these are some of the
Hold it up a little higher.
greatest monologues in cinema. Okay, I'm gonna read not all of them. I'm gonna read some of them. As soon as you figure out what movie it's from, yell it out.
Daniel, if you clean the mirror on the ceiling, I'd be able to see the reflection on Adam's phone better.
Yeah, I should get to that.
I don't know what those stains are.
All right, you ready?
Jizz.
First monologue. I look back on the way I was then, a young, stupid kid who committed the terrible crime.
Shawshank Redemption. Red.
Okay.
Yes.
This one,
Never seen it.
get your hands on the buzzards.
So good.
Get your
What? The
buzzards.
buzzards? The buzzards?
Open the window. Let the,
Oh, no.
Debbie,
no.
bring in the buzzards.
what happened to Cindy?
Cindy got eaten by the freaking buzzards.
Oh, man.
She was getting up there in age.
That's true. Okay,
Wow. Aegis.
be ready.
Can't
Great.
believe you,
We're
Cody.
canceled now, Cody. We're like 8 episodes in. We're canceled.
So I had a wife, beautiful, like you, who tells me I worry too much, who tells me I ought to smile
The
more.
Dark Knight.
Yep.
I don't know why I stumbled, but I was like, I've heard this before.
I'm trying to pick the more obvious ones.
So no work has gone into this. Just scrolling.
I wrote it at 3 a.m. at work when I was supposed to be working.
You didn't write this, though.
Your
Yes.
safety
You
feeds
found
the world.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord, and when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
That's a Boondock Saints.
similar genre, but no.
Oh, is it Pulp Fiction then? Okay.
Oh, never seen it.
I thought it sounded awful lot like the monologue at the end of
Prayer
Boondocks.
that they say.
Not necessarily the prayer, but like when they're talking about like it's your
Oh.
corrupt we claim, and they're in the courtroom and
Oh,
they shoot
yeah,
down.
For some reason, no offense, Cody, I feel like Daniel will get this. Tyler's pretentious, so he might get this.
Ah.
But for some reason, I just feel like Daniel's going to get this. If you do, I apologize. I will take my words back.
He's saying that you got to be educated, is what he's trying to say.
Oh, okay.
I've seen
Or pretentious.
Or
anyway.
pretentious.
I've seen horrors that you've seen, but you have no right to call me a murderer. You have a right to kill me. You have a right to do that, but you have no right to judge me. It's impossible for words to describe what is necessary to those who do not know what horror means. Horror has a face, and you must make a friend of horror.
Horror?
Horror.
Horror.
No, I don't know what's
Give me a
from.
hint.
I mean, it sounds
hint.
familiar, but I don't know if I could.
Here's a hint. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Oh, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the better one.
okay.
It's called Heart of Darkness.
Okay, so it wasn't an education thing. It was just I wasn't alive when that movie was a thing.
Neither was I.
Yeah, but
I was.
you were closer to it.
Okay, two more before we get on the topic.
You want to talk about pretentious? So, Adam called Tyler pretentious, and he accused me of being pretentious because I have a copy of The Art of War. I am soon to have a second copy of The Art of War
Why?
because I accidentally bought a copy. Well, I didn't. I bought something intentionally, and it's coming with a free copy of The Art of War.
Oh, okay, well, that makes more sense. It's
Yeah.
like, no, babe, I slipped and fell inside of her. Then I tried to get up and I fell down again several times. Okay,
You said that wrong. You said her, not him.
Oh, that's right. All right, I'm going to try to do this one. I'm going to try to do a
I was
voice.
practicing my long jump and I fell.
Here we go. Here's my voice.
Pole vaulting's the obvious joke.
See, my clothes were just loose.
I'm going to try to do an impression here.
Oh boy.
If I got $10, says it sounds like fucking Count Dracula.
It's going to sound vague.
every day at work, he's like, "Here's my John Wayne," and it sounds like fucking Dracula.
Yeah, okay. You don't understand. God, it does.
Oh god.
God, you don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender.
The Godfather,
Nope.
Uh,
Right actor, wrong movie.
Raging Bull,
He's not even in that movie.
Streetcar Named Desire.
That's Stella. No.
I don't know. I'm just
Rocky.
Superman.
On the waterfront.
I was just naming.
All right, here is the most contemporary one. For some reason, I feel like Tyler will know this.
He's not a hipster, Adam.
Nah, he'll know it.
I'm not wearing a fucking Reebok jacket. If you had matching sweatpants and a gold chain, I'd call you a good fella right
Okay,
now.
cool girl is hot. Cool girl is game. Cool girl is fun. Cool girl, that's hard to say, never gets angry at her man. She only smiles in a chagrin-loving manner.
that sounds straight up. Don't like that.
I've never heard that
It's
before.
it's meant to say sarcastically. It's not meant to be taken literal.
Okay,
Within the
you
context
didn't
of
say
it.
it sarcastically though. That's
Because
what
his
threw me off.
sarcastic voice sounds like a Transylvanian accent.
Ben Affleck, David Fincher, Rosamund Pike,
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Yes. Okay.
Oh, that's the one they picked from that movie.
The cool girl monologue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what. I don't work for Industrial Scripts.
Why not?
They wouldn't hire me. Too much sexual harassment claims. Okay.
Why? Because you're fucking pretentious.
All right. So movie monologues. This
The
was
word of the day.
This was Cody's idea. So Cody, what makes you like? Right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I proposed this. Yes.
Yeah. So what? Oh, I thought you were filming me. What do you like about? I mean, what?
I think I like it because it's a way to convey feelings. Like, it can be used in a way, like, instead of an internal monologue, like an outright monologue, just like, you get to know this person, what they stand for, if they're presenting a certain object in, like, less than 3 minutes. And you can pretty much say for certain, okay, this guy is straight up righteous, evil, crazy, or stupid. Just,
Okay.
I like that. And just, I don't know, it just like, it makes me feel stuff.
Just grabs you by the shirt, by the short and curlies, and just
Well, okay. So how?
Like, it inspires you a little bit. You know?
Okay.
Like a good monologue.
Are you a fan of like
The bad guy monologues or the good guy monologues?
Both.
This is gonna sound hipsterish, but are you a fan of like Shakespeare type monologues?
I actually have never read Shakespeare.
Seriously?
Like it's just
Yeah,
fucking
like never.
yeah.
Okay. All right. What,
Oh, sorry. I read Romeo and Juliet in high school. That is it.
Give it really quick before we move on to the numbnuts here. What is what offhand, top of your head? What's your favorite monologue?
There's two.
Okay.
You get
Independence Day.
one.
The present.
the
We will
president's
not
speech.
go quietly into the night.
Don't they use that for like in the military now for motivational speaking?
If they don't, they should.
Yeah.
That'd give me. Makes
And
me
if we
want to kill
survive,
somebody.
tomorrow will truly be not just for us, but for the world. Independence Day.
Real quick, is he your favorite cinematic president?
I enjoy him. Like he actually, I don't know. He's a president I actually like to vote for. I think.
Okay.
You know, that sort of feeling. Like you're like, I wish that the idea of a good president you can vote for is now just mythological. That the only good guy that you can vote for is in a movie.
Okay.
Like,
Before I get your next one, Tyler, favorite.
My favorite one.
Your favorite cinematic president.
My favorite cinematic president. Fuck, I don't know. JFK in JFK.
Madam President from the 90s X-Men cartoon.
That was her name? Was Madam President?
They never said her name. She was just always, every time they addressed her, it was Madam President. And she was so down to earth and understanding,
Boom.
kind of.
Change my answer. The Doctor becomes president of the Earth in one episode.
My the floating head of Nixon in Futurama is my favorite. Okay, I'm sorry. And the headless body of
Spiro Agnew.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's your second?
yeah, you really need to watch Futurama.
You've never seen Futurama?
I'm not a huge fan. I've seen a couple episodes here and there, but it never really grabbed
Do you
me.
like The Simpsons?
Get the fuck out of your own apartment.
Not really.
It's
I
way
like-
better than The Simpsons.
I like the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 seasons, and then, I don't know, I kind of stopped falling out of that humor. Like, I don't really follow Family Guy either.
Oh, Futurama's hilarious.
Yeah, like
blows Family Guy out of the water.
Of all of those shows, the one that I liked the most was American Dad. And even then, I didn't super like it. It was just, like, more tolerable than the rest of them. Like, Family Guy, Simpsons, and Futurama are fun moments that are loosely connected together by cringe annoyance to me. So, like, I enjoy Family Guy and Futurama and Simpson clips that are maybe a minute long because they can get a good gag out there pretty quickly. But as a full episode, nah.
Nah, Futurama's worth it.
All right.
This episode just bring you to fucking tears.
Yeah, there are a couple.
I did see the dog episode.
That one.
Oh, that don't.
There's
that
luck,
one
was-
luck,
I mean,
luck of the
sucks as it
Friarish.
makes you cry.
Luck of the Friarish will bring you to tears. If it doesn't, then you have no heart.
Because that's the one where
With
with the 7-leaf clover, right?
Yeah, the 7-leaf clover.
There's also another one where he actually gets to say goodbye.
The third, the third series finale, the final series finale.
It's coming back again.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Sorry.
No, it was kind of my fault.
Kind of.
And then
Shut up.
Aragorn.
Who's your
from Return of the
favorite?
King.
Who's your favorite?
Nixon, the floating head Nixon.
Oh yeah, forgot. That's how we got it. I wasn't really listening when you were talking.
And Aragorn, Return of the King.
Okay.
I see in your
that
eyes
Viggo
the very
Mortensen?
fear that would take the heart of me, and just inspires an entire army to basically commit suicide to buy Frodo but a few more minutes to drop the ring into the lava, which he doesn't do.
Now see, I've never seen the Lord of the Rings movies. I've seen clips, and it probably doesn't fall under. Well, it doesn't fall under monologue because it's like 2 sentences. But
That's not true.
It's
We'll
the
get to that here in
same.
a
It's
second.
the same feeling. It's when Aragorn is crowned king, and he walks up to the hobbits.
Yes.
And the hobbits are like the last ones to bow,
And
and
he's
it's something. He's like, my
bow.
my friends, you bow to no one, and like the entire fucking kingdom bows down.
And no
To them.
other hobbit will ever fucking believe him.
Yeah, like that.
And they were still taller than the hobbits.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
when they're bowing down.
Ha.
Thank you. All right, Tyler, favorite monologue, or what's your feelings on monologues?
I like them.
Okay, Daniel.
I don't have a whole lot. I mean, I want them to convey emotion, and you know, that's about it. I mean, I want them to make me feel something, all warm and fuzzy.
Okay, what's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite. I've got a bunch that I like.
Who's your favorite son? Which one of your two kids is your favorite? No.
We are not doing it.
No,
This is not Sophie's choice.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Oh, are you planning on killing one of the two of them?
No,
She didn't kill one of them.
All right. Favorite monologue,
My favorite, like
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
or just one you particularly like?
One that I like is from your favorite show, Doctor Who. It's a Christmas episode. Are you done now?
Yeah, I'm done.
So, it's the first incarnation of the Doctor is talking to one of his companions. She asks him why he left Gallifrey. And he's like, you know, I left to go answer a question. There's good and evil in the world. By all accounts, good should always lose. You know, evil doesn't care about loyalty and this and that, and you have to sacrifice things. And he's like, you know, so it makes no sense. I've traveled all throughout this universe. Why does good win? And his companion is like, maybe there's just some person that travels around setting things right. And he's like, yeah, but that's not how the world works. And it's like, the guy is so out of touch with everything, he can't even see all the good things that he does. It's just him trying to find, you know, he sees all these good in people, but he can't see the own goodness that he puts out into the universe.
Okay.
That's interesting. I like that.
Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
so fuck off with your jerk off motions.
Daniel.
So yeah, I kind of agree with what everyone else is saying, that a good monologue should be impactful and powerful. It should leave you moved in some capacity, whether you agreed with it or not. And it's the villainous monologues that I find really interesting when they're done well, because it enlightens you so much to a villain's perspective that it can sometimes make you think, well, is this really the villain? And a movie that has a moment that pushes you back and forces you to reevaluate how you look at things is powerful to me. It's what art should be.
So, why is it? Because I think pretty much. There's exceptions to every rule, but I agree. For why are we as an audience, we're more willing to? I mean, it always depends on the performance, obviously, but for some reason, we're more willing to like accept the villain chewing up scenery, doing a monologue, when like Superman starts talking about good. We're like, shut up.
So to me, it's a matter of like when you have Superman going on about, you know, how great he is and all of those things, it sounds like lecture. It sounds like less like, hey, you should be doing these things because they are right, and more like a teacher scolding you. And to me, that's why I think we tend to kind of push back on those things. Not saying that that's the case, because, you know, there are some very impactful monologues, especially from Batman, in my opinion. You know, when you start talking about like DC superheroes and goodly aligned people, but it's like you've got this church boy choir who's preaching this lesson, and you're like, okay, yeah, I've heard this 1,000 times. I've never seen it practical. So I think you have to have some dark and some edge in there to make it seem like a lesson or a concept that is proven or true. Because nothing is 100% right and good and Boy Scouty in the world.
Do you think it's also maybe a little bit of jealousy, because we're listening to the bad guy and we're like, yeah, we subconsciously think that, and we're like jealous the fact that he's vocalizing our inner thoughts.
Sure, I could see that,
Or
absolutely.
maybe not jealousy, but maybe agreement is the. Did Megatron have good monologues in that comic book? Where it was, I don't think it was Hail Megatron, but the one where him and Optimus talk, and it's like he like convinces Optimus a little bit that maybe Megatron's kind of right on a few things.
Oh, absolutely. That book is split into two halves, and the first half is just Megatron and Optimus Prime sitting and talking philosophy. And
Please God, tell me they're like in like a diner. They're just like,
unfortunately not. They're in a jail cell.
oh,
But
that.
you know, there actually is a diner in the Transformers world. It's oil.
McAdams Oil House.
Yeah.
It's more bar than or a diner,
Oh,
but yeah.
fair enough,
Mhm.
yeah.
That would have been a good trivia question.
Well, it was.
But yeah, so
I don't mean to be. No. I'm just-
So yeah, that first half of that book is all philosophy, and it's so impactful that even if you were not a Transformers fan and you have not read anything, listen to them talk, because it's not so much as Megatron convinces Optimus that he's right, and it's not Optimus convincing Megatron that he's right. It's a matter of the fact that they're like, you did this, therefore I did that, and I see what you did as this. And they're like, no, that isn't what I did. These are the reasons why I did these things. And it's an example of how all discussions should be, because it is two extremes that talk and meet in the middle. And in the end, Megatron becomes an Autobot, and Optimus Prime advocates for his release because he's less convinced of his war crimes now. It's
Definitely
fantastic.
thought you were going to say that Optimus Prime became a Decepticon. I was like, I would have read that.
So, what's your favorite? Is that your favorite monologue, or do you just one you like off the top of your head? Or?
That one's great. I think the two that really come off to me is the first one is in Sin City. There are just grand moments of monologue through the entire thing as narration, and the whole movie is just beautifully framed and has some of the most impactful things in the world. Especially hearing like Marv talk. Who Marv is a little slow, not quite educated, not quite smart,
Right.
but he knows right from wrong, and he's strong and he's tough. And he goes on about how, you know, there's a right and a wrong, and I know what the right is, but maybe I'm sick and I gotta take my pills. And his monologues when he's going on about his perception of right and wrong is eye-opening for anyone who ever wanted to understand the mind of an anti-hero.
Okay.
And then the other one I think you have to talk about is the William Wallace from Braveheart, where he is... Really?
Never seen it.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
Didn't he get
Braveheart
his
either?
wiener cut or something?
Yeah, at the very end he gets emasculated.
That's the only thing I take out of it.
I mean, I know the whole they can't take our freedom, but
It's that monologue.
but they can have
Monologue's-
me haggis. I never liked it much.
listen,
That sounded pretty Irish or Scottish.
which one is he?
He's a Scot.
Yes, he's Scottish. But yeah, that speech on the field is fantastic because he's talking about because he goes out there, he's like, I'm William Wallace, and they're like, no, you're not. He's 7 feet tall, and he's like, yeah, also he could fart with fireballs and shoot lightning from his fingertips and blah, 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 blah. And he's like,
Historically accurate, by the way.
right, and he's like, this is who I am, and this is why we fight, and 100 years from today, you can walk away, and 100 years from today, you can be on your deathbed wishing for one more moment on this field right now. And just thinking about it is giving me chills. And it's so impactful about, like, that carpe diem kind of...
Seize the carp.
season the carp, that's right. No one wants, like, a banned fish in the middle of Scotland.
Carpe the diem. Okay, all right. Well, we talked a lot about villain monologues.
What's yours?
I'll get to it real quick.
Oh, everyone else gets to go.
Favorite villain monologue, real quick.
Favorite villain monologue?
Right off the top of my head, I didn't write this down, but when you guys talk about villain monologues, the one that there's a lot of really cool ones, but I like the one in Watchmen where Ozymandias is going off. It's not so much what he's saying; it's just the very end where I think it's Owl or Night Owl where he's like, "You can't do that." And he's like, "I'm not a comic book villain."
I set my plan in motion 35 minutes ago or something like that.
Even when I
Yeah.
read the comic book and I knew it was coming, well, I assumed it was coming in the movie. It was still was pretty badass. And
Absolutely. That you grabbed my favorite villain monologue, without a doubt, is Ozymandias at the end of Watchmen. It's so powerful, especially when he starts explaining the way his plan works. That monologue is bigger in the book. But when he starts explaining the way his plan works and the way it's all supposed to come together and the way that his vision for humanity is, it's fantastic. It's amazing.
I don't know. I guess he would be considered a villain. Has anyone seen the Adjustment Bureau?
Yes.
So the quick rundown is, so basically you find out that everyone's life follows a delicate plan done by the chairman, and these people, you know, will make sure that if Daniel's supposed to be 5 minutes late to work, you know, this person purposely makes sure that you're 5 minutes late to work, and then they'll course correct and change all these things.
See, Kayla, it's not my fault.
Exactly. It's not his fault. It's mine. So they have this moment where the main character is like, you know, what about free will? And what's great is the guy's played by Terrence Stamp. So you got General Zod talking the entire time, and he's like, we tried free will once. You know, we took you guys all the way up to this point. You know, we gave you everything, and then we decided to let you go, give you free will. You gave us the Dark Ages. You pushed back scientific revolution. You know, all this advancement. You know, then the chairman decided that we needed to step back in. We just needed to be more hands-on. He goes, so we gave you the Renaissance and this and that and this. So we decided that in 1910 we would try it again. He goes, in the span of 50 years you started 2 world wars, brought us to the brink of annihilation. He goes, you don't have free will. What you have is the illusion of free will. And then that's the end of it.
Ooh.
That's a Philip K. Dick novel. Oh, it's based on
Is it?
Philip K. Dick novel.
I didn't know that. I've seen the movie. It was very good.
How talented is this guy's dick to write a book?
But he's written several.
Huh.
A Scanner Darkly.
Do you think
One slap
I'm gonna say,
right on the keyboard.
I'm gonna say, is he doing it like a calligraphy pen, or
Hunt
is
and
it does
peck.
it hold?
Hunt and peck.
No. See, he unscrews it.
He just sticks it in and breaks it.
That would take forever to write a novel.
That's why he only gets a movie once every 3. That's why he only gets a book once every 3 years.
Well, that needs dead.
Not all of them.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
I had to look up the exact wording.
Oh, okay. All right then.
You have to say it in. What's it from?
You'll know as soon as I start saying it.
Well, I wanted an accent. I want you to sound just like.
I'm going to try.
Okay.
Oh,
all
right.
I'm super excited. I got chills. Is
ready-
that goosebumps?
Ready to be vaguely
I'm not
racist.
touching
for
you.
some
That's
reason.
weird. That is not my arm that I showed you.
Oh, that's you should get a look at it. It could be herpes. Sorry, Cody.
My bad.
Go ahead. I want to interrupt you again.
All it takes.
Are we recording?
I'm gonna fucking go ham on the back of my hand.
I was just checking to see if we're recording. Sorry.
Okay, that's the last time we're doing that, right?
Yeah, we're good. I checked it. We are good.
Yep.
I got an empty glass I can throw now, so it won't get stuff wet, but it'll hurt.
Okay. No, I'm good.
Nope, not going there.
No.
All it
Cody,
takes-
you want
I'm
to
going to kill you.
Okay, no, I'm serious. I'm sorry.
This is the most Cody has ever tried to talk, and no one will let him speak.
I'm genuinely done. I'm sorry.
My throat is closing up because of the rage.
Okay, sorry. I am sincerely done. Muting my mic.
All it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy. That's how far the world is from where I am. Just one bad day. You had a bad day once, right? You had a bad day and everything changed.
Your
Why
bad
else would
day
you
is trying to
dress
get
up
this
like a
monologue
flying
out.
rat? Had a bad day and drove as you as crazy as everybody else. I didn't say it right. You interrupted me again, so I got off track.
Where-
It's from the...
The Joker
Yeah,
monologue from.
I know, but where was the impression? You didn't do it like in a voice.
No, he did great.
Better than your fucking Transylvania. I'm waiting to be impressed.
I actually kind of liked that Heath Ledger impression. That was pretty solid.
Has anyone ever seen No offense, Cody, but I bet Daniel's seen it.
You're not hipster enough.
There was a show called The Middleman.
Oh, jeez.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
It's like a campy. It was like a campy.
It's a hipster show.
How would you describe it? He wasn't a superhero, but he was like.
You could say he's like a middleman.
But basically, he was
Are
like.
we talking about Malcolm in the Middle?
No.
Malcolm in the Middleman?
Middleman.
Malcolm in the Middleman.
That
He's
sounds
what?
like porno.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
Malcolm in the Middleman.
He works for.
Frankie Muniz is really desperate. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to talk and someone's interrupting you?
I think Frank Muniz is actually a NASCAR driver now. I think I read that somewhere.
No, it's not NASCAR. It's
How do you know he has a NASCAR?
the F1.
A real NASCAR.
F1 racing?
NASCAR.
Yeah, what about it?
The one where you always
Formula
go
One?
left.
That's what he does, not NASCAR. The Formula One. Yeah, I was agreeing with you. Middleman,
He
he's
was
like
a soapbox driver in Miracle on Lane 2. That was a Disney Channel original
Really?
movie.
Was that during Malcolm?
I don't know.
What is
I
a
think I was-
soapbox?
Soapbox?
Yeah, like you hear like soapbox racer and soapbox derby and get on your soapbox. What the fuck is a soapbox?
It's a
That-
box that they brought soap in.
Yeah, so after they brought the soap in, you just have a wooden crate left over that they throw wheels on and ride it down a hill.
Right, but how many people need that much soap at one time?
Well, if it's the only...
A lot of stinky people.
I guess.
Well, my understanding, soap actually didn't used to last as long as it did now. It was not as condensed, and it got used up pretty quickly.
Oh, that makes sense.
And plus, I think the soap boxes come from the general stores where they sold it, not the
General
individual
store.
people.
And most people, when you say get off your soapbox, they're monologuing. Brought it back. Okay.
Yeah.
So the middleman, he works for like a secret covert government organization above everything. Anyway, he fights like James Bond type villains, and it's campy. All the tech is like 1950s retro. And anyway, every time they go to fight a villain, he'll look over at his partner and goes, "Here comes the monologue." And then while the villain's chewing up scenery, they go off and they do their plan and stuff. But anyway, I was hoping someone had saw that because I thought that was a good deconstruction of like the villainous monologue. But no one's seen it. Okay.
No, sorry. Sounds interesting though.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody's seen it.
It's all right.
Cody's like,
No, what
fuck you.
what I do think is interesting is when they take that monologue and you can see it get set up and then they interrupt it. Like a really good, effective interruption in a monologue. Like you don't see it very often, but it's so cool. And I can't think of one specifically that's really a interruption.
I got one.
Okay. So is Cody apparently.
No, Infinity War.
No, that's Guardians of the Galaxy where they enter
No.
Rowan the Accuser.
No.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
No.
with
No.
the dance battle.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about when Black Maul. No, is it Maul? Thanos is
Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maul is talking, and Iron Man's like, "Wait, hang on. What is he? You know,
Call him Squidward.
yeah."
Earth is closed today.
He's like, "We've heard this before. Let's just." That was pretty good. Shutting them up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kung Fu Panda 3.
Oh, who's the
cut
hipster now?
Cut the chit
Cut the
chat.
chit chat.
That's
Chit
pretty,
chit chat.
that's pretty funny. That's true. What? How was Kung Fu? That's Jack Black. I mean,
All right,
nothing with Jack Black is hipster.
here's my
Have you
favorite.
seen him play the saxoboom?
Yes.
Oh,
1, 2.
2, 3, motherfuckers.
He does that in concert too.
Yeah, I saw him in concert doing that. That's awesome.
He's got a great beard.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
as rare as the Stradivarius, the saxophone.
Yeah.
Stradivarius.
is a rare tuba. Anyway,
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Made
Thank you.
from the intestine of giants.
yep. All right. Here's my favorite quote. I use it all the time. I use it to motivate myself. I use negative reinforcement. So whenever I'm nervous or anxious, this is the monologue I use in my head to pump me up. I'm not going to tell you what movie it's from. You tell me. I'm not going to do it.
I'm probably certain I would never have seen it.
Okay, probably not.
You're not hipster enough, Cody.
Yeah,
No.
apparently.
See, you've
I'm
got
not
to
as cultured as
you've got to be wearing a matching Reebok sweatsuit and pants, and be like, "Hey, forget about it."
You look like a landlord.
By the way, rent. All right.
You know, if you had track pants, you could look like one of those like Slavic like gangsters.
If Adam wore track pants and walked in, all I would hear is, "From as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a good fella."
Anyway.
Also,
Anyways, okay, you're not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank. You're not the car you drive.
Oh, that's Fight Club.
Yes, but anyway, I don't do the whole monologue in my head. Just when I'm going.
Coolest name of a person ever.
Tyler Durden.
Yes.
Anyway,
Coming from the guy that loves everything with the name Adam.
yeah. I always just say the part. I always just repeat the part in my head called "You're not your fucking khakis." That's just what I say in my head all the time to
you're
motivate
not
me.
your fucking khakis. So check your privilege.
Is that what that means?
I get it. Like khakis are a sign of upper class, right?
I just assumed it meant you're more than this. You're some of your.
I thought you had to make a certain threshold of money before you're allowed to wear khakis.
I have khakis.
I don't know. I don't own
What?
khakis.
You can afford them?
They're $10.
What?
$10 whole dollars.
I know.
How can you?
I'm
afford
waiting for that
There's
plasma
way
place to
too
open
less
up in
money for all
Quincy
those
so I can
pockets.
go buy some khakis.
They sell
Is
them
it
right
Tyler
next.
seen
They
me in
sell them right
khakis?
next to this code at Walmart.
Tyler's seen me out of khakis too.
So what Evans?
Nothing.
Okay,
Just referencing Tyler and I's rich, deep history.
so we were talking. You like them because they're motivational and inspirational. You like them because they expose the other side, let you make you think about the other side.
You gotta
they're
be
moving.
exposed.
Absolutely.
My
Always
favorite
expose yourself. That's what I say.
my favorite
Expose yourself and love will fill your holes.
My favorite things about monologues, I have two super favorite monologues that I like. One is the exposition dump, if it's done well, and arguably the best exposition dump in any film is Hugo Weaving in V for Vendetta, when he's meeting with the two cops and he's in that sitting on that park bench in the outfit and he's telling the story and it's cutting back and forth.
Yeah.
And just the rhythm of it, fair enough, a lot of it probably has to do with the editing, but the rhythm of his voice, just everything about that. I like exposition dumps if they're done well, and that one's probably the best at it.
That one is a really good monologue that you're talking about. That whole movie is fantastic. Very different from the books, though.
A comparable monologue that also reveals a lot of useful information in a quick format is Goldmember.
Okay.
I lost my privates in a horrible smelting accident. And I love gold. And
How come Cody is so good at accents? You're horrible at it. It's like
I love gold.
No.
Okay. But speaking of awesome powers, another exposition dump and a villain monologue is Dr. Evil in the first one, where he talks about his past. I like that one a lot. That's good.
Are you
we're
talking
not
about
so
the-
different, me and you.
The one where he went to evil medical school and he's telling people to shut up. That one.
My father would womanize.
Yeah, he goes to therapy.
Yeah,
though.
he said that.
Oh, he went to an evil.
She said Carrie Fisher says, "Mr. Evil," and he goes, "I didn't spend so many years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you."
All right.
And then the other type of monologue I like, I call it junkie dogma, is when someone does a monologue, but it's very metaphorical, very lyrical, very it's just not like a straight out speech. It's like have you guys seen Rock and Rolla?
Yes. Love rock and roll.
Guy Ritchie writes really good what I call junkie dogma monologues where
Oh, yeah. No, I'm actually fucking agreeing with you.
I
Yeah.
thought you were making fun of me.
Cody.
Sorry.
No!
We're gonna make a list of all the movies Cody can't have seen.
Where the rock star Toby Kebbell's characters.
No, The Rock wasn't in that movie.
No, Toby Kebbell's
When he's
character.
playing the piano.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
talking about how the cigarettes is everything you need to know in life is in this box of cigarettes, and he goes all and if you really break it down, at the moment it's very metaphorical and lyrical, a lot of it has to do with the actor. If you get like a really shitty person trying to do it, it doesn't make sense. But it's just like it like at the time the way he's delivered, it's like, oh, this, yeah, it's very deep. But if you actually like read the dialogue, it's like, that's fucking stupid. That's why I call it Junkie Dogma, because
A reason I was agreeing with you, because there's another Guy Ritchie movie. I think he does The Gentleman, right?
yes,
And there's the scene where they're in the sandwich shop, and this guy ordering a sandwich, all these young kids come in.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah. And he's all like, no, it doesn't, the fight isn't out here, it starts in here.
Oh, yeah.
And he's basically giving them like a impromptu, like, sort of that lesson, teaching them while he's also kicking their ass.
Yeah, because then he like, let's hear your best one, and the guy's like, fuck you. He goes, fuck you, that's the best you got. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing, right? By
Yes,
Junkie
Colin
Dog.
Farrell was right
Yeah,
there.
that's what I mean.
right?
I don't know if that's the
Is that what
actual
you heard?
term. That's just what I call it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I get that. Yeah, that's another one that I enjoy too. Like just a little rambling of nothingness that's like just breaks up a scene. Can also be considered monologue. It doesn't actually have to convey information, but it does. It just throws you off the kilter. Like you're in a tense scene where something happened, and the guy's like, and then the guy will just go in like, yeah, you just growing up as a kid, and he just tell this crazy story, sort of like aside. Not necessarily giving real information you can use, but it's enough to break the tension of the moment. And the guy's doing it not for the audience, but for the other person's scene.
It's like secondhand lines
Yes.
in the bar scene.
Yes.
And another. Oh, go ahead, David. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I agree that Guy Ritchie writes some really powerful dialogue and includes that in his movies. I had a different experience with that rock and roll monologue that you were talking about.
The same one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one with where he's talking about the cigarette pack. And to me, I remember watching that movie and thinking this entire monologue is a satire on all monologues. It was like fake deep. And for the character that was speaking that monologue, it seemed really apropos to be fake deep, not really saying anything, and very satirical for all the Dogma style monologues. That was my opinion of it when I experienced it.
Maybe. Fair enough. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a junkie, and that was his little henchman. Like looked up to him, so maybe he was just pulling it out of his ass, knowing his buddy was just gonna
Eat it up.
buy everything.
Right. Well, that character, his mind was so fried and from all the drugs that
Yeah.
and that was a symptom or a kind of a thing that you notice with people who have a substance use problem, that they tend to get that really deep, profound moments that really don't mean anything. They hang on to them like, oh, this is so deep, it means so much to me. Dude, that's the receipt from the hot dog place down the road.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean anything.
You don't know what happened to that hot dog place.
That's true. You don't.
Another really good, and I think, no offense, Cody. I think no, I'm just
Gotta end up slapping you.
I'm just joking.
You okay?
I mean this as a joke, but
Is there a pin over there?
another good Junkie Dogma monologue is in Venom, and where he's you haven't seen Venom?
Like a turd in the wind.
Yeah,
That one?
like he's monologuing, and then the period at the end of the monologue is just, you'll be like a turd floating in the wind. It's just like, what the fuck does that mean? All right.
No.
As I'm getting written on a kill list, apparently. All right.
No, I'm writing down every movie that I apparently haven't seen, and I'll do some research, see if they're that good.
Okay. All right. Industrialscripts.com.
Hipster.
This is industrialscripts.com.
Do you work for them too?
No, they
No,
wouldn't
it's the
hire
same
me.
Oh, okay.
person.
What is a monologue?
It's the thing that happens at the beginning of Saturday Night Live after the cold open.
And before Conan.
Should we maybe have started with that?
Yeah, probably.
Nah.
Done a
Yeah,
cold
sort of
open?
give a definition. Like
Well,
most people probably don't even know what
No,
we're
the
talking about.
monologue.
Oh, what is a monologue?
Yeah, we probably should have started with that. Yeah.
We'll edit it.
Yeah, so we should have
Right.
made that our monologue. What is a monologue?
According to industrialscripts.com,
What the fuck do they know?
a monologue is a long speech delivered by one character. The form originates from theater, where a character will deliver a long passage of speech either to another character, to themselves, or to the audience. Do you think cinema Well, I guess I was gonna. Never mind. I just kind of answered my question because not Daredevil. Deadpool does it. I'll say, do you think cinema could handle a Shakespeare type monologue? But I guess Deadpool does.
Oh yeah, and they did a really good job with the Romeo and Juliet modernization.
Boz. I wouldn't even.
Maybe I don't remember.
Balls.
Like
The
one that
XXX Axel Braun parody.
the one that had Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And other than the I bite your thumb at thee, sir, and the Mercurio scene where he dies, those two scenes I didn't particularly care for, but the rest of it they did a fantastic job doing the Romeo and Juliet.
Because nowadays,
Never heard of it.
Nowadays,
Uncultured swine.
Breaking the
I've
fourth
seen Toy Story. That's what that's from, right?
breaking the fourth wall is the modern day, addressing the. Can you break the fourth wall in a serious movie?
Yeah, you do it all the time. Like House of Cards.
Never seen it.
Yes, you have. House of Cards.
Cody's on Netflix.
When I can't remember the name, Kevin Spacey's character just stopped in the middle of the conversation and speaks directly to the audience what his true thoughts for the subject are. Like, there's one scene where a guy, because there's that thing, if everybody in the government's meeting up, they send one person off to like hide, be in a bunker in case the place gets nuked. Designated survivor. And so we had that guy like, yeah, I'm heading off, and like, just don't get blown up on my way. I hate to be president. And Kevin Spacey turns and like, God help us all if he does, or something like that.
He's got a lot of room to talk.
He wasn't like looking to a character off screen.
No, he's looking directly at you.
Oh, I didn't know if like they had framed it that way. Where
No,
I've never seen it.
There's another scene where his wife had basically betrayed him and did some backroom deal to get some information because he's trying to run for president. And then he's looking like, I can't believe she's done. I'm gonna kill her, and just all this stuff. Like, none of this is happening in the real world. This is just what's happening in his head. Instead of it just being like a voice over a blank face, he's talking directly to the audience.
So the show created a relationship with the audience.
Yes.
I mean, damn.
So and that's a really good example, and that's interesting. I would like to see some of those scenes to see like how they're shot and stuff. But to answer your question, isn't that what all narration is?
Well, okay, that's a good question. Is that what narration is? Because
I asked you.
Well, I'm answering your question with a question.
You can't keep doing that. That can't just be your go-to.
Why can't
not?
I? Damn it!
From now on, to the punch. From now on, this podcast is questions only.
So, is there a difference between narration and is it narration and monologue? Is it the delivery? Is it the way it's presented?
Isn't it just an internal monologue?
Yeah.
I mean, it's either an exposition dump or it's more than likely your junky dogma.
I can't read. You're shaking it around too much for me to
Good
read
Lord.
your note. That's our new show?
I was trying to be...
A-R-E?
That's our
new...
Our new show.
Our new show.
Questions only.
Oh.
Well, think about it.
All right.
I'm sorry you came me. I didn't want to interrupt the podcast for it.
But this
like,
is
you guys never think... Like, I wrote it down for a reason. I didn't want you guys to read it out loud.
Well, you were shaking like a damn junkie. Ow! Paper cut.
Shit.
All right, so to bring it back in, yeah, so I think, like to me, monologue and narration is the same thing. It's just how it's presented. Okay. So, like, narration is a voiceover. Monologue is specifically you're watching and focusing on the character talking, which brings up a completely different question then. What's the difference between that and a soliloquy?
What's a soliloquy again? It's been a long time
soliloquy
since I had an
needs
English
doesn't it need to rhyme?
A soliloquy?
No, I'm thinking of a haiku.
Yeah, a haiku
No,
is
I think actually I
there
know
are
that.
storms on Mount Fuji. Is,
Yeah.
That's got math in it. I don't know.
Well, I think similar to
575.
I think it's similar to the difference between narration and monologue, I think soliloquy has to meet certain requirements. Like it has to, or maybe it's a theater. Are you looking it up?
I'm looking it up because I kind of thought you would know the answer to that.
No offense,
because you're a hipster,
right? And the only one of us who's written a movie here.
No offense, Cody.
No offense, Cody.
What? You guys think I haven't written a movie?
Have you?
How do you think I make a living? I write the best porn parodies of all time.
Why haven't you asked me to act in them?
I didn't want to break this to you, but
you
got nobody that can take it.
He's writing one now.
You hear that, ladies?
It's Transformers, a porn parody. You're gonna play the villain instead of Megatron. It's Megadong.
Oh yes, I am so in.
Right off the old dome.
Lame.
And his nemesis.
That's the name of the sequel,
Optimus Rex.
right? All right. So, for anyone who is maybe curious, a monologue is delivered to an audience. A soliloquy is delivered to oneself. So, if you are talking to yourself, then it is a soliloquy. If you are specifically talking to the audience in the intent of the message, it is a monologue.
Okay.
So I haven't been monologuing to myself the entire time. I've been soliloquying?
Yes, if you have been talking to yourself, you have been performing a soliloquy. You have not been monologuing.
Wow.
Now, if you are talking to yourself with the intent of the people around you to hear you, then it is a monologue.
Would it be intentional that you'd have to be really doing it, thinking other people will hear you? Or if somebody accidentally overheard you, then does it become a monologue?
It is the purpose of the speech. So if the purpose of the speech is to yourself, it is a soliloquy. If the purpose of your speech is for other people, it is a monologue.
Huh.
Real quick, what's a good soliloquy?
I think you'd have a hard time finding that in cinema because all monologues all speeches are designed for the benefit of the audience.
Well, no, I think I disagree. Anytime you have a character like psyching themselves up to do something, like Peter Parker, like ready, like, oh, okay, I can do this. That's soliloquy to himself. It's not for him. So anytime anybody's trying to psych themselves up,
when Stacy's ghost is in the background, no, you can't.
What? Wow, why?
Too soon.
I think I see what you're saying. So there is a movie that I saw and it was fantastic, and I cannot remember the name of it, but it's a spy movie, and I think it's got Chris Evans in it, and he pretends to have like psychic powers, and he's got a sniper. Yes. That his character in Losers, I seem to remember doing exactly that, like psyching himself up, talking him into like preparing himself for those kind of missions. So I can see what you're saying, and I think I agree with you.
I don't at all.
Huh. I guess we'll always be in disagreement.
No offense.
No offense, Cody.
Any other before we get?
I don't want this to be a thing.
This is gonna be a thing.
Yeah, this is your hate all Asians thing.
What?
Whoa.
Okay, it can't be that level.
Wait, y'all heard that? I was soliloquying to myself.
Soliloquied all
No,
over the place.
remember you said it in full knowing the other team was here. That was a monologue.
Oh fuck. I'll edit it.
No, you won't.
All right, before we move on to the listicle, and whether we'll agree or disagree, because we're getting long in the tooth, our last couple pods have been epics.
We haven't gotten them.
I will fix that.
What?
Cody's just gonna start punching the fuck out of people.
Yeah, it's just mid-episode, he's gonna start ripping the plugs out of the mics.
All right, show's over.
Any other thoughts on monologues? Any other? Going back to the one from V Vendetta, I tend to really like monologue. I don't know how to put this without sounding stupid, but I tend to like.
He's never stopped you before.
I tend to like monologue if like the character's voice has like a character. You know, like I'd rather listen to Christopher Walken do a monologue than Brad Pitt, and I like Brad Pitt.
Speaking of Christopher Walken,
You set me up like there was a joke you wanted me to
Like one
spike.
of the best
and
villain monologues, original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. We have to admit that, right?
Christopher Walken's not in that movie.
Who am I thinking of?
Willem
Willem Dafoe. I get Christopher Walken and Willem Dafoe mixed up all the time.
Cody saw a completely different Spider-Man than everybody else.
this is the Rain Man thing all over again.
What?
Was he in your porn parody version of Spider-Man?
He just showed up.
No,
He
Spider-Man.
just walked in.
Now I can never watch another Spider-Man movie because I'm just going to see Christopher Walken in it.
Oh, I wish I could do a walk-in voice so much. So
Sorry, the Willem Dafoe monologue was the best villain monologue of all time, in my opinion. When he's talking about what they like to see more than a hero is a hero fall.
What part of the movie is that? Oh, when he's got the thing in the thing?
The thing and the thing.
No, he's got...
I know you were going for Goblin Guider, but you were not going. That was not Goblin Guider. That was.
He's got the tram and the chick, right?
Yeah.
And he's got to save the tram or save the girl.
No, this monologue happens before that scene. It's when Green Goblin's trying to convince Spider-Man to join him. Part of the movie, not before the okay. I just need you out of the way now.
Huh.
Out of the way
now.
Can you do a Christopher Walken?
I'm having a hard time remembering.
Now he doesn't even know who Christopher Walken is.
Nope, no, he's gonna go into like the Boondock Saints speech here.
Yeah.
The way you talked to my friend there, you do it again, I'll stab you with an ice pick. Was that him?
No, not really. That was a little bit more Marlon Brando, but
Was that him?
I was trying to do his Christopher Walken from Joe Dirt.
Cody, if you if you have to ask if that was him, then it probably wasn't.
I'm not
okay, Cody.
good at voices.
So Cody, in that voice, I want you to say, "Leave the gun, take the cannoli."
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
That's perfect.
That's like a James Bond.
That's so good. It's not walking, but it's good.
It's not Walken. It's not the person you were trying to impersonate, but
This isn't.
That's a great voice.
yeah.
This isn't a no offense.
You should talk like that all the
haven't
time.
seen, you haven't seen this movie,
I've got to see.
but
No offense.
this isn't a monologue, but the best Christopher Walken dialogue. I don't care what the fuck you guys say. The best Christopher Walken dialogue. 7 Psychopaths. The guy pulls a
yes.
The guy pulls a gun on him. He's like, "Put your hands up." No. What do you mean no? I got a gun. I don't care.
Like,
Fucking. Well, it's better. if Christopher Walken saying it.
have you guys seen 7 Psychopaths?
No.
I have not.
I would
No
recommend.
offense.
I did see him in Man on Fire, though.
Christopher Walken's in that?
Yeah. It's when Denzel Washington's about ready to exact his revenge, and he's like, a man can be, can paint a masterpiece in anything, can be an artist in anything, cooking, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, Creasy's art is death, and he's about to paint his fucking masterpiece.
He was also good in Platoon.
Haven't seen Platoon.
He was great in Joe Dirt. Should have won an Emmy.
Yeah.
I can't think of any more Willem Dafoe movies. Willem Dafoe was in Platoon, not Christopher Walken.
No Way Home.
Was you playing a joke on me?
Yeah.
No Way Home.
No offense. Okay. All right. We're
The
gonna
Boondock
do.
Saints.
We're gonna do. I gotta bring it up.
I was just looking up Willem Dafoe movies to make that joke.
Okay. This is according to Backstage.com.
Is this the third listicle?
Backstage.
Backstage.
Moviepoopshoot.com.
I love it backstage.
14 famous movie monologues. Agree. We want to agree, disagree.
All right.
I got $10. It says Tears in the Rain from Blade Runner is on there.
Tears in the Rain. From any other takers on anything?
I bet Tears in the Rain from Blade Runner.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is a good monologue. It's from Good Will Hunting.
Oh yes.
Where Robin Williams is on the bench, and he's like, you could probably quote me Shakespeare once more onto the breach, my friends, but you don't know what it's like holding your friend
That's
dying.
a chorus to a Klep song. Once more onto the breach.
Never heard of Clutch.
Nope.
Such a hipster band.
Any other you want?
I'll bet that Dead Poet Society's on there.
Dead Poets. 12 or what do you
Good
say?
Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting and Tears in the Rain.
Okay.
One of the Joker speeches from The Dark Knight's going to be in there.
Okay. All right. So according to Backstage.com, 14 famous movie monologues.
14?
We've got Brad Pitt as Jeffrey Goins in 12 Monkeys.
Never seen it.
No offense, Cody. This one I know you guys have seen, and
This will be the third time you've said that you know I've seen it and I haven't seen the other two.
I'll be shocked if you haven't seen this. Jack Nicholson as Colonel Nathan R. Jessup in A Few Good Men.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of great
Tyler, let's hear
monologues.
it.
And
What?
Let's hear it. I know you know.
Which part am I saying?
Take a guess which part is the famous one.
I Want the Truth? No, I wanted to do the You're goddamn right I did! Yeah, I hope that hurt.
apologies, headphone users.
Is that a good monologue?
Oh, that one's so fantastic.
It sort of kind of puts perspective on things.
I got sick of that monologue because Jared used to quote it all the time. Our brother was in the Marines, and he would do the anyone who questions the nature that I provided, that
I'm the first man on the wall, or
yeah, the man on the wall that sleeps under the very blanket of freedom.
You need me on that wall. You want me on that wall.
This is the if you ever want to feel shitty about yourself and you just want to
I don't need a
not
monologue
like yourself. Number doesn't have a number. Ellen Bernstein as Sarah Goldfarb in Requiem for a Dream. The most depressing movie.
There's only one part of that movie that I watch, and you know what that is.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Is it boobies?
No,
it's now on the podcast.
we'll tell you after.
All right.
It's exactly 2 hours. No.
Anyway, she's
I have
talking
to watch
about.
that movie and I haven't seen it yet. I keep waiting for it to be in an emotionally stable place so I can watch it.
You'll never
no,
be
no,
emotionally
yeah,
stable.
no.
Even God doesn't watch the movie. It's depressing. Anyway, she's talking about wanting to be famous, have a red dress. All right. Speaking of Christopher Walken as Captain Coons in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, you're talking about The Watch. That is a good one, yeah.
Please explain to Cody.
No offense.
I've seen Pulp Fiction. I haven't seen it in a while, though, so I'll need a refresher.
Okay.
Cody, it's all right. You don't need to fake here.
Oh.
But Christopher Walken's talking about how this watch came from his dad in a POW camp and it, came up through his ass and smuggled it out of there. But it's all this metaphor about persistence and the importance of continued trial and stuff. It's a great one.
For 5 long years, he wore it up his ass.
You know?
What the fuck? That was all horrible.
You know, I really, really like Pulp Fiction, but there are some awkward fucking moments in that movie. Holy shit.
My favorite is when they hit the bump, and it's like, oh crap, he was playing around, but the guy's dead now.
Yeah. I watched it with my dad, and the movie was great, but I'm like, did we really need to talk about Bruce Willis getting a blowjob for 5 minutes?
That's all it was? 5 minutes?
It felt longer than that.
The blowjob was 5 minutes, or they talked about it?
They talked about it for 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to give you oral pleasure?
That sounded just like whoever said it. I've never seen the movie, but that sounded just like it. Took me right there.
Okay, so far, do we agree with Few Good Men being on the list?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That,
Okay.
I couldn't tell you the Requiem for a Dream.
What about the Pulp Fiction
Yeah.
watching the ass?
Never seen it.
Okay. Next one. Anthony Hopkins is Dr. Lecter in Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh, that sticks with you.
Which?
Is the fava bean one?
No, it's you know what you look like with your good bag and your cheap shoes. You look like a rube, a raw, scrubbed, hustling rube.
Yeah, that's how we like it. Flat, no afflection,
Good
no
nu-
emotion.
Good good nutrition has. I'm not an actor. Good nutrition has given you some length
Not
of
with
bone.
that attitude.
I think it's the one where the one where he's in the plexiglass.
Yeah, there's two of those where he's in
Yeah.
plexiglass.
I love
the
how you're
one where
doing
he-
this for everyone. John Cena.
Yeah, is that the one where he ends it with do you still hear the lambs crying, Clarice?
Yes,
that
yes,
one.
that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why the lambs are silent?
Yeah, because they're murdering the lambs.
Murdering lambs to farm.
Never seen it.
Me neither.
Really?
Yeah, it's on my to watch list, but I've
No,
never seen it.
I've seen it, but
No offense.
that
No.
I've
that
seen
monologue
Silence of
doesn't
the Lambs.
that monologue doesn't really stand out.
Doesn't really
I mean,
stand out?
clearly, since I asked you which one it
Well,
was,
it's the Faba Bean one, isn't it? That's the same
no.
speech.
I don't
I
think so. I think
believe
that's
it is.
I think it's later.
Oh, okay.
That's like the first one, like the ending to like the first time he sees her.
Okay, well, speaking of Silence of the Lambs, Mike Myers is Dr. Evil in Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. My mother was a 15-year-old French prostitute named Chloe with webbed feet.
That would I don't know why that's on there. That's
Seriously, you don't like the monologue where Dr. Evil's telling his backstory?
I mean, it's fine, but it's not
It's-
amongst the 14 best monologues in all of cinema.
To me, I mean, it's more funny. To me, it's more.
It seems like it's on there for their joke pick.
It's more poking fun at villains who monologue.
But the way he's saying the most absurd shit, but he delivers it so earnest, P-World, that it's amazing.
Moving on.
All
I
right.
don't want to talk to you.
So
after
that one does not deserve to be.
I don't
I-
think so.
no.
That's their joke pick.
Okay. Has anyone seen any Charlie Chaplin movies? If not, I'm skipping over.
It's Charlie Chaplin, the Great Dictator. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
that-
seen-
'Cause that's
I've
the only
seen
one he
that
talks in, isn't it?
I
I've
think so.
Yeah.
seen that
That's-
scene what they're talking about, and it goes on for like 10 something minutes.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
I mean, yeah,
it's
it's a-
real powerful.
It's a really good monologue.
This one we've also talked about. Hugo Weaving as V in V for Vendetta.
Yeah, that's a great one. Is it the one that we were talking about, that specific one, or was it a different one?
Or is this list just say the
No,
movies?
yeah, it's the one where he's telling about. Wait a minute.
Because he also has a really great one where at the very opening when he introduces the
That's-
character, where
The-
everything
where
starts with the V.
This is the
Yeah.
one. That's the one they're talking about. Actually,
That
This
one's
was a villain.
This humble vaudevillian veterans alter. Yeah, that's what the one we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Not even gonna try. He's gonna get
Nope.
out 4 V words and then give it up.
And I wonder
I'll
how
give it a
many
shot. Let me
takes.
see the.
No.
It-
How
that's-
many takes did that take?
That's all. That's all that was on. There.
Oh, that's all. It's on
Look
there?
it up.
Okay.
while-
5.
Okay. So Tyler, Cody,
Thank you.
Cody, you owe Tyler $5 because the next one is Rutger Hauer as Roy Batty in Blade Runner.
That is a good one for the simple fact that to me, it makes you root for the villain because the whole point is that he doesn't want to die, and I mean he knows that he's lost, and when I watch that movie, I'm so far in my head, I'm just like, okay, Deckard's the good guy, Batty's the bad guy.
How do you see the movie? Because your head's up your ass. Okay, sorry, that was mean. That was a joke.
Nope, I ain't talking no more.
No,
Nope,
that was a joke.
nope,
Go ahead.
I ain't talking no more.
Go ahead.
Nope. Nope.
Okay, so Tyler, give Cody the $5 back because Viggo Mortensen in The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
He didn't say that one was going to be on there.
But he said it was one of his favorite.
That doesn't matter.
So we agree with Blade Runner being on there, right?
Yes.
I think it should be. Okay. Do we agree
Oh,
with
I'm sorry. Let me pull my head out of my ass. Yes, we do.
Return of the King speech should be on there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Daniel's still here. He's just busy. I don't remember this one. Tyler, you've seen because I'm pretty sure you were a fan because you had the soundtracks. Keira Knightley, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, had apparently a good monologue.
Yeah, it's when they are going to attack Cutler Beckett's ship, and she's trying to get all the pirates into it about how they don't need anything supernatural. They just need the sweat off their backs and hard work and everything like that. I mean, it's a good one. It's not one that first comes to mind, but
I wouldn't say it's like best in the world.
Is it the best in the series?
best in the series.
Yeah.
No, but I also prefer Jack Sparrow's monologue in the first one when they're on the island.
Where's the rum? That one?
No.
Oh.
It's when he's talking about, she's talking about how once he gets the pearl back, he'll be the most dangerous pirate. And he's like, it's not about that. It's being able to go wherever I want to go. It's freedom. So I would say that's not the best one in the entire series. But that one has, the Keira Knightley one has more of a rousing monologue because there's all these people.
A rousing monologue.
because there's all these people around her, and she jumps up, and she's holding on to the rope, and she's delivering it like a speech.
Did you ever see any of the deleted scenes for the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie? There's one
maybe.
in there that I wish they would have left in. It's where around the same time when they're both locked on the island, and he's sort of explaining to her, not like explaining to her, but like she's sort of romanticized the ideal of like pirate adventuring and stuff, and he's all like, then showing like all of his scars, like that's where I ran through with a sword. Barry survived that one. Like all the other stuff, his brand and all that stuff. Like it isn't all fun and games. This isn't like.
Sounds interesting.
So does not need to be on the list. Good speech, but
Good
worthy
speech,
enough.
but I wouldn't say it would be.
All right, Cody, give the $5 that you gave to Tyler. Tyler gave back to you. Give it to Daniel, because the next one is Robin Williams' Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
You'll have to let me know. I've never seen it. So what?
Oh, neither have I. I just
You've
know
never
that
seen
there's
Dead
a...
Poet Society?
No
It seems
offense.
like your
type
No
of-
offense, Adam. I haven't
As
seen it.
as hipster as you are.
Is it the one where it's like Captain, my Captain? Or
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Yeah, they talk about that.
what's Oh Captain?
It's from a poem that he reads earlier in the thing. So basically, it's like a preppy boys' boarding school. I believe it's like in the 50s or something. And then you've got future Wilson from House. He doesn't want to be a doctor. He wants to be an actor. And his dad, played by Red Foreman.
Ironically, he's an actor who plays a doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
He ends up killing himself, and so they dismiss Robin Williams because he was the movie teacher that was like, throw away your books, we're gonna learn from life and all that stuff.
And they think he's the one that caused him to commit suicide?
No, they just use that as an excuse because Robin Williams' character was like, go follow your dreams, don't listen to what your parents want you to do.
Okay.
And so at the very end, as he's leaving, the staunchy educator comes in and is like, turn to this page. And they're like, well, we don't have the page. We ripped it out on our first day. And so then they stand up and they give him the "Oh Captain, my Captain" speech.
Okay.
That's a famous poem by Walt Whitman, which I have here if you are interested.
How long is it?
Adam can't read.
I could do just the first stanza.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what's the difference between a stanza and a soliloquy?
Stanza was in Seinfeld.
All right.
Tony Danza.
Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The speech has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near. The bells I hear. The people all exulting. While follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh, heart, 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 oh, the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. That's the first stanza. There's like two more.
So it's about a captain dying, Robin Williams being a teacher who's leaving, so that's why it's Oh Captain, that's why they keep saying it?
Yeah.
So, needs to be on the list.
I think so, absolutely.
Okay, the next one. I'm just going to say this.
Who's got the $5 now?
I have the $5.
Daniel,
Oh, okay.
Next one. No one asked for... I'll just give you one line from it, see if you guys can guess what movie it is. English motherfucker, do you speak it?
Oh, that's Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
I've never seen it.
It's
Really?
There's
No
two?
offense, Cody.
There's two on there from Pulp Fiction.
Do not look at it, man.
I'm not looking at it. I don't even know what website you're on.
Pulp Fiction is such a fantastic movie that Adam hates.
I do hate it.
I've honest, the only Quentin Tarantino film I've seen is Inglourious Bastards.
Really?
Really?
He's one of my favorite directors. I really like him.
You would. Does it need to be on there?
I think so.
Okay.
Well,
It should
probably
get a
not,
2 for it.
actually. Because it's good and it's powerful, but it's not any more important. It doesn't generate any more importance. It's just rememberable.
Okay.
Right? Because it's like the what? Say what again? And like that, it tells you a lot about Samuel L. Jackson's character, but it's not particularly impactful or meaningful. So memorable, yes. Great scene, fantastic 14 best monologue in history? Probably not.
Okay. Daniel, give your $5 back that Cody gave to Tyler gave to Cody gave to you, and give it back to Cody because Heath Ledger as a as the Joker in the
Give him the fucking $5!
Heath Ledger as the Joker in Dark Knight.
Which one?
Is it the dog chasing cars one?
No, but that's a really good one. No, they've got the one that everyone talks about with where he's got Maggie Gyllenhaal in that party with the knife to the face.
He's like, why so serious?
That's the one they went with?
That's one.
I figured they would have gone with this is what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force.
That's the one you like?
I prefer that one over the Maggie Gyllenhaal one.
Okay.
Because he's like, we're destined to do this forever.
Okay.
No, my favorite one is definitely the I'm just a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do to actually get one. You know, I got all of this money, but you know what I like is gasoline, and gasoline's cheap, or whatever that line is. Gasoline and bullets are cheap.
Maybe then.
Right?
Is that your... So which one's your favorite?
My favorite is one where he meets all the gang heads meet up for the first time. Like, what do we do about the Batman? And he just shows up like, I can be your solution for the Batman. That scene, like, because this problem isn't going to go away. He's going to find him, and he's going to make him squeal.
Wait, is it the one where he has Maggie Gyllenhaal at the party, or is it the one where he's being interrogated by Batman?
No, it's the one where he's got Maggie Gyllenhaal at the party.
Yeah, because I would have said even the interrogation scene where he's talking to Batman, where he's like, I really thought you were Dent, the way you threw yourself after her.
You have nothing.
Where he's like, don't start with, you never start with the head. Victim always gets fuzzy and they can't feel anything.
See, I'm with Cody though. No offense, Cody, but I'm with you.
Why is it an offense when you're agreeing with me?
You know why. Don't play.
Pretty much from the part where Spawn says, this wasn't a cheap suit or whatever, and he goes, well, you should know you bought it. And then every line after that, I'm hooked. And when, you know, talking to what's his fuck, where he's like, the squealer, I know a squealer when I see it. And then
Batman doesn't have jurisdictions. You find them.
Yeah, sounded just like him.
Such a great movie, and so many fantastic lines. Like, I think we have basically quoted every line that Heath Ledger says in that movie.
The Dark Knight, 5 stars.
I wonder why he hasn't come back and redone the character.
That's wrong.
Before we...
Ouch.
Ouch.
In the soul.
Too soon.
I'm talking about Christian Bale, motherfuckers.
We know why Christian Bale hasn't come back.
How do you know he's not in the Flash?
Too intense.
Oh. Before...
Fucking amateur.
Oh, good for you. Okay, that was pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
That was pretty good.
Do your fucking job.
Before we wrap it up and we listen, because I want... You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
I want Daniel to attempt the V for Vendetta speech. Is there any more things? I actually enjoyed this pod. I was going into it, I thought it was going to be difficult. Of course, it was 3 a.m. and I was supposed to be working, but going into it, I was having a hard time writing it, but I enjoyed it. Anything else we want to mention about monologues?
Well, first off, I think I just like to say, I enjoy doing this podcast for y'all. It's given me a lot of introspective and other looks at my life through movies and whatnot of other people's points and views. And, I think without it, I would be a much different person. Have you ever felt that way? That you'd be a different person about something else in your life?
I'm going to cut your mic.
I thought this was the part where we all get our own monologue.
The monologue
no
Lost.
offense, by the way. I'm going to cut your mic.
The final monologue from Lost. Jack and Christian in the church.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's a good one. I'm going to say the from Spartacus, Blood and Sand. The monologue that leads into the titular "We're just we're just sand and darkness" or something like that. That monologue where is it the Dominus? I think it's the Dominus is talking to Spartacus and trying to convince him to participate in the games. That one sticks in my head too.
Do they ever do the "No, I'm Spartacus" in that?
They don't.
No.
How far did you get in Supernatural?
The Leviathan season.
Season?
Shortly after the Leviathan season, because it was after Cass took him in, and it was after Cass's villain arc.
Okay,
That's where I got.
So you hate Supernatural because you're a jackass. Have you ever seen Supernatural?
I've seen a few episodes. It seems so daunting to start it since there's like 83 seasons.
You're not wrong.
So you find out that, spoilers, that Chuck from season 4 and 5 is really God.
I remember that.
And so
What?
yeah.
They meet God.
Yes.
Yeah, God ends up being like the final villain.
Whoa.
So then there's after the Leviathan you meet Metatron, who tries to become
Is
the new
Leviathan
God.
an animal?
No, they're like a giant parasite and they're
Like shapeshift.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
Like-
there's more than one?
yeah,
They
they're
got like a
whole-
hive mind?
It's-
yeah, they're like demons.
It's the
Oh,
first
okay.
things that God created, and then God locked them away because he was afraid they were going to kill all humans, which they do.
Was it God that made him, or was it Lilith? I thought it was Lilith that made him.
No, it was God, because Death gives a speech about how, because Death's like, I like the Leviathan because they gave him more things to do, but so Metatron, is this angel, and he ends up losing his grace, and then the season is the ultimate darkness is closing in, and God's like resigned. He's like, whatever, the world's gonna end. I don't care. There's nothing I can do. And he brings Metatron, and he's writing his autobiography, and it's a scene because it's got this absentee father figure, and then in the background you've got Sam and Dean trying to survive, and God goes off on this rant about how humans are the worst. I gave them paradise. They've destroyed everything. This is what they get. This is what they deserve. And Metatron, who was the villain like 2 seasons ago, this character that you hated, is like, this is why humanity is your greatest creation, because they pollute and they destroy and they ruin things, but they also sing and dance and create. And he's like face to face with this being that's created everything, that he was just talking about how he prayed for him when he abandoned everyone to come back. And he's like, he like gets up on the table like right in his face, and he's like, but they're better than you because they don't give up. And it's just this powerful scene, because you're like, it's a being that with literally a snap of his fingers can unmake him from existence. And it's this cowardly character that's hidden behind tricks since you've known him on how to get away with things. And he's like right in his face, and he's like, but they're better than you. And it just he just sits back down.
I am that,
and
what
just
he just
stops
said.
talking.
I'm a human.
And it was just a really powerful monologue.
That absolutely sounds like a powerful monologue. That sounds like the exact kind of villain monologue that you want in a show that's really built around a lot of ideas, and a lot of interesting ideas too. That sounds because Eric Kripke is the writer, right, and director.
He created the show. He left after season 5. This was like season 11. But the writer of this episode, he wrote some like really, really interesting episode. Like, he wrote an episode called Baby, which like the camera literally never leaves the Impala the entire episode. So like,
Oh, I've seen that one.
so like you'll see like Sam and Dean fighting a monster, and like a vampire like head like lands on the windshield, and like that's all you see. Like everything is like done through dialogue and like that.
Yeah, monologue sounds great. Too bad it was in a shitty show. Okay,
Well, I'm gonna return what I just bought for the podcast.
Daniel, if you want to do your closing real quick,
Sure. All right.
then at the end of the V thing, do your catchphrase.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you've been listening to Damage Control Podcasting. Check us out on YouTube and SoundCloud. New episodes up every Monday,
Oh,
hopefully.
that new listener lady.
Oh, yeah, we need to call out Ashley Moore. Thank you for subscribing. We hope that you enjoy the podcast and wish to continue to subscribe.
We hope that you're real.
And we don't want...
She is real.
Sure.
She's actually somebody I used to listen to the podcast too.
And I don't want any more subscribers because we have 69 subscribers.
Oh, yeah. But if you do want to break Adam's heart and subscribe, make sure you subscribe, comment, and say hi if we don't see you, and we'll call you out on the podcast episode.
I subscribe to the podcast. No one's ever called me out.
Thank you, Tyler, for listening.
Thank you. You know what? I feel very supported.
Good. No offense, Cody. All right. Make sure you check us out on social media. We've got us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Damage Control Podcasting. Find us hopefully soon anywhere podcasts can be found.
There's a poll up on Instagram, I believe. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
there certainly is. So make sure you check out our Instagram poll and vote yes or no.
And if you like to shave, hairy razors, we check out our... What's that called?
If you like to shave hairy razors, are the razors hairy?
Yeah.
Can you believe that we haven't been sponsored yet?
Yeah.
Reach out to us. Come on. All right, here we go.
One take. Don't fumble.
Oh, one take. We're going to do it live.
Yes. Here we go.
The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta held as votive, not in vain, for the value and the veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Adam,
That's it?
push the button.
Oh, okay. Vagina.